I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
It's January 12th, 2024, and this is Weekly Update.
Good morning, Quincy High School. I'm your anchor, Raymond Smith. Today is day 3, and this is your weekly update. Now let's get into the news. Attention seniors, the Quincy High School local scholarship application is now available. Completing this form makes a senior eligible for up to 2 local scholarships that are chosen by the QHS Scholarship Committee. Potential scholarships granted by this form are not necessarily limited to only students who are attending college. Therefore, all seniors should complete this. Please check your email or the Student Support Google Classroom for a link to the application. The deadline is February 16th. As the weather gets colder, many of our high school students do not have warm clothing. The Quincy High's nurse office is looking for donations of new winter hats and new or gently used gloves, jackets, sweatpants, or sweatshirts. These donations can be dropped off at the front entrance at Quincy High School. We appreciate your help. The International Travel Club is going to Europe for April break 2025. But where will they go? Go to the Google Classroom to check out their options and to vote on your favorite. Voting closes at the end of the month. Health in the Current World Club will be hosting its first meeting on Tuesday, January 16th from 2:40 to 3:15 in room A414. Join us to explore the latest emergence of diseases, recent news in health, and more. Well, folks, it's officially 2024, and with a new year comes new resolutions. But how do we get these resolutions to stick? Here with some tips on how to stay true to your personal goals all year long is reporter Preston Calvin.
Making New Year's resolutions is pretty easy, but sticking to them can be hard sometimes. So today we're going to share some of our tips with you that will hopefully give you an advantage over the course of this next year. All right, so tip number 1 is going to be to set some smaller goals within your resolution. One of the reasons that a lot of people give up on the resolutions pretty quickly is that the end goal seems really daunting, and so they feel like they can't quite reach that. But one of the ways that you can combat this is if you set smaller goals along the way. So for example, if you're hoping to save $1,200 by the end of the year, you might think that $1,200 sounds like a lot of money. But if you think, okay, every month I'm just gonna save $100. $100 is a lot smaller of a number, and so that might just help you to think of it in a little more of a practical sense. So tip number 2 is gonna be to start some kind of schedule. One of the things that a lot of people have trouble doing is making sure they're using their time efficiently. And so having some kind of regiment to your daily life can help do that. One of the biggest differences that divides an idea and a completed task at the end of the year is just a proper course of action. So it can be helpful to have that for most people. So tip number 3 is going to be accountability. And we think this is actually the most important one because a lot of times your resolution might just be a little too hard for you to do by yourself. And that's okay. But one of the things that we recommend is having a friend come alongside you, and that way they can kind of encourage and support you along the way. And then you don't have to bear so much of the load all on your own. So that can be helpful for a lot of people as well. So tip number 4 and our final tip is going to be to just give up. Studies show that after the first month, 45% of Americans have already given up on their resolutions. So you definitely won't be alone if you do. With that being said, we're going to head back to Raymond with the weekly update, and we hope you have a great year. Thanks, guys.
That's about all the time we have for today. Until next time, I'm your anchor, Raymond Smith, remind you to think for yourself, work together, share with the world, and be aware of yourself and others. This has been your weekly update. Roll Hats!